industry at the Bomag booth in Central Hall. I'm with Jonathan Stringham, the VP of Sales and Marketing for Bomag. Jonathan, thanks for having me out to the booth today.
Thanks, Brian. Glad to have you here.
Where you've got a lot to see. You guys have a huge family of machines, and I felt like starting with compaction is maybe the best place. So walk me through the family. There's a bunch of new signs here. So what's new to the floor now?
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we have a lot of new machines, of course. Bomag, as a global leader in compaction machines, always looks at redeveloping the products, bringing new things to the market, new technology for our customers to improve their performance on job sites. So one of the machines that we've also introduced to the market here is a combination roller with both a standard vibration drum and then rubber tired at the back for getting a smoother surface finish. So more an application that's starting to develop here because it's a multi-purpose machine.
I'm curious, I've never operated a roller. So when you guys advance these things, you redesign, what are some of the things that operators come to you and say, like during that phase? Like, do they give you any feedback that you guys go into that next phase of engineering?
So involving the operators in our development process is really a key step for us. So whenever we look at redeveloping a machine, we'll run clinics with operators, with partners that actually service the machines, and to hear from them, what's their feedback, what do they really like about the machine, what do we need to keep, and where would they like to see some improvement, how could we develop better features, better comfort for the operators, and of course always the question of cost.
Right.
How can you look at the total cost of ownership of the machine? That's everything from fuel consumption, something that Bomag is usually really strong on bringing down the fuel consumption of the machine, and of course service and maintenance. How can we increase the lifetime of components, really make sure you get that uptime? Because the worst thing, of course, is if you're on a job site, machine breaks down, the time it takes to take it back to the shop, fix it, bring it back out. So something that Bomag really prides itself on is the reliability, the durability of the machines, the low level of service effort it needs to take to repair the machines, and just make sure that you get that maximum uptime, that maximum performance, and maximum lifetime out of your equipment.
Well, there's, compaction is like the biggest thing I see here. There are so many different compactors. How do you go about even selecting which one is the right fit? Do you guys have a network or a helpline? How does a contractor start?
Well, you obviously speak to his partner in the region, so usually the equipment distributor in the region that we have, and they'll be knowledgeable on all the machines and the applications, and advise the customers really on what's suited best for the purpose that he's looking for. And of course, you've got the small machines, that we call our light tandem roller range, which are very versatile. You see them a lot in rental fleets. And then when you get into heavy road construction work, that's obviously when you're moving to the larger parts of equipment. The thing that's unique about Bomag are the different types of vibration technology that we offer. So everything from your standard drum, your standard vibration drum, through to oscillation, which is a horizontal movement instead of a vertical one. So that's kind of for a lighter compaction touch. And then up to the flagship technology that really only Bomag brings, which is the Asphalt Manager. And the Asphalt
I'm less aware of that than some of the others I've heard this week.
So the Asphalt Manager is the only truly intelligent compaction system available in the industry today. So what it does is it automatically measures the stiffness of the ground, or of the asphalt mat, and automatically will adjust the compaction performance of the drum to get your optimal level of compaction. So it's an automatic mode. Basically, you set the level of compaction that you want to achieve, and that's it. It's like a fire and forget system. So you set the level of compaction, the system automatically measures the stiffness of the asphalt, takes temperature into consideration, and then will adjust the vibration performance. Because the worst thing you can do is, you're building a new road, and kind of the worst thing you could do would be to overcompact, which would be to actually destroy the surface while you're building it. And so that system is a fail-safe mode for that.
Well, speaking of road building and putting down new things, can we move on to the pavers here? It's where the action is, this is where the literal rubber meets the road.
Right.
And I'm curious, I've been over to Dynapac's booth, and I know they're part of the FIA group.
Right.
And I'm curious, what is some of the things that sets Bomag's series of pavers apart?
So starting with the small paver, the BF200, that's really a very versatile machine. This is your commercial class paver, so for everything from paving parking lots to paving residential areas, but it's actually a very powerful machine. So this can push a truck like you see on the highway pavers. So something that usually this size can push a truck while you're loading it into it. And it's a great machine. You see, you got different ways. So you've obviously got the front push rollers if you are loading from the front, but you can load it from the side if you're going to use a wheel loader to load in the asphalt. And what's absolutely unique about this machine, again unique in the industry, is the two levels of operator platform that you can have. It comes as an option, so you can either stand it there, and then there's another version where you can raise the platform to a higher level for better all-round visibility, be able to see into the hopper, see how you're consuming asphalt. And the nice thing is it's also the slimmest machine.
It is really narrow, like especially with the one side of it up like that.
Yeah, and it's the width of machine. So a standard application you'll see is kind of a 4-foot mill and fill, so where you're taking out a stretch, and this machine will actually fit into that cut. It's the only machine in the industry that can do that, that can fit into a 4-foot cut and pave exactly that width that you're doing. So a great machine for kind of a mill and fill operation.
This is a little off topic of our pavers, but I've noticed this week that there's a real brand loyalty to Bomag. There's kind of a, Carhartt is like a construction brand, but strangely, I have seen a ton of Bomag gear going on, including these bright yellow T-shirts over here. Can you tell me anything at all about what that program is and what's Bomag's initiative with that?
The T-shirt is a little support charity that we're doing. So it's called Construction Angels. Supporting families of people who've been injured or unfortunately perhaps died in an accident, and that's something of course we'd like to try and avoid in the industry, but Bomag wants to make a point of also supporting that and supporting the greater society around that. And so it's basically a program where you buy one of our nice looking T-shirts and we'll donate all the proceeds to Construction Angels charity.
It's really awesome. Next month is construction site Safety Awareness Month, and there's going to be a lot of programs, so that's really cool that you guys are doing that. I have another strange question, because I'm the editor for Asphalt Contractor, but I'm still learning this industry quite a bit, and I don't know what this machine is. This a mini miller?
That's a small milling machine, yeah, a small planer.
I've never seen one this small, and I'm sure that they exist, and obviously it's right in front of me, but I've never seen one so compact.
Okay.
Tell me, what would this one be used for? Applications for contractors.
Well, this is I think this is your for your small machine you'd use for smaller road maintenance sites. It can mill around potholes, so you'll use this for patching and repair work when you want to mill out short stretches in residential areas. Usually you do find it on larger construction sites as well for doing edges or for creating joints. But the primary application I think you'll see is in inner city areas where you're trying to improve the road and just want to mill out shorter stretches or patches of deteriorated asphalt.
So I've seen in patching and in applications for smaller contractors, a lot of those skid steer attachment millers. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What benefits does this have over kind of one of those one size fits all situations that those are?
Well, I think two things. First of all is the precision of what you can do, in terms of leveling, how deep do you want to go, all of that. It's got automated level control, so, it's a more performant machine in that terms, and of course the productivity, right? So you would use this machine, for example, if you want to mill out a parking lot. We see them get used, in parking garages, multi-story. Because they're compact, they can fit inside that area. So that's where you'd use this machine for kind of both patching, but also for kind of, I would say, perhaps intermediate sized job sites and areas where you can't bring in one of the larger high performance machines.
Speaking of the larger high performance machines, they look like a giant dinosaur in a way. They just have this unearthly shape and size. When I think of heavy construction, these are it. Tell me, do you have a sense you can give me of the newest thing that's come from milling in Bomag? I see that big new sign right up there on top, so I'm curious about this one.
Correct. Yeah. Thanks. This is our BM 2000-65. So that's really that's your large highway reclamation, very large, construction pavement rejuvenation sites that you do. So you'd find these on when you're trying to improve a stretch of highway that you're trying to get. So that's kind of the main purpose. And there's a lot of new features in this machine. I mean, first of all, it's the performance and the power that we can bring to this class, and it's a good combination of trying. I know it looks huge, but it's actually for this size of a machine, it's a fairly compact layout, and it's excellent visibility from the machine that you get. One of the nice areas is what we do for the operator station. These machines are usually working full shifts, long shifts, and operator comfort is a really important part here. And we've vibration isolated the entire operator platform. If you're standing on this machine for a full day, that can be hard on your legs, on your knees, and being able to vibration isolate that really gives a much better sense of comfort to the operator, and that's important. Fatigue, all these issues, that's when mistakes start happening, and if you can do something to improve that, you're improving health and safety really for the entire job site by trying to get this environment for the operator as comfortable as possible.
And efficiency too. I mean, if it's more comfortable, if the operator is able to stay more alert, then perhaps they're able to get more done. I'm curious though, talking about the compaction, the intelligent asphalt system that the compaction has. Is there any sort of intelligent software technology built into the milling side?
Oh, absolutely. We've developed our own level control system, so it's around bringing the machine into the cut, creating automating functions that will support the operators on starting the job, and there's a lot of that built into the machine. So it's a custom designed system that Bomag has worked on over the last years, really understanding what the operators are doing, asking them how can we create automation functions for you that'll make your job easier.
Well, Jonathan, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your busy schedule to show me around the booth. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal time with your charity and that a lot of money is donated, and that you have a great rest of the show. If you are here at ConExpo ConAg 2023, you need to come down to the Bomag booth in Central Hall and check out these amazing products that they have. Thank you, Jonathan.